Hey y'all, what's going on? It's Athena Amoeba, and today we are tuning into the power of your mind, the power that you can use to create your own universe. Now, today's video I'm really excited about because it's the first video that I'm going to dive into Awaken the Giant Within, how to take immediate control of your mental, emotional, physical, and financial destiny by Tony Robbins. This book I have been reading, analyzing, trying to absorb and fully understand for the last 2 years. And I really do believe that it is the main reason why I've been able to make progress in taking control of my emotions and mind and having a much better experience at work. So, love this book so much. It's definitely my favorite book. So I'm excited to get into it today. Now this is going to be the first of many videos because this is a 500 plus page book, so you know there's no way I can cover it all in one video. But what we're going to get into today is the main 3 points that this book really covers and how you can start using those 3 main points today. And in future videos, we'll do a deeper dive on subcategories for each of those main points because I feel like that's really where the practice is. But today you can get a jump start using these 3 main points. Now for me, what this book really boils down to is that in order to take that control of your life, in order to take that control of your mind, your body, your finances, all the areas, and live the life that you want to live, is that you have to have the right story, the right state, and the right strategy. You need these 3 things to change any part of your life. You need these 3 things to achieve any goal and become successful. So now I'm just going to do a quick overview of what these 3 things really mean and a quick exercise for each that you can do to start analyzing what you want for yourself, the changes you want to make, and how you can pursue your goals in a much better way. So the first thing, and to me really the most important thing, is story. All of us have a story. All of us have a story about who we are. We have a story about our lives and our experiences. We have a story about everything that we interact with. And every interaction we have with another person, we have a story about it. Our story is our perspective. Our story is a narrative that we repeat in our minds every day. Our story is what comes through in our communication with other people, and it affects every single aspect of our lives. So now, for the exercise of story, I want you to think about, what's your story of self? What's the story that you would tell about yourself? What story do you tell about yourself every day to yourself in your mind? Who are you to you? Really, truly. What are the things you find yourself saying and thinking about yourself? That's your real story. Not the story that you're going to tell somebody else, although that might be worth evaluating as well. But what are the things you say to yourself about yourself every day? That's the story you really have about yourself. Now, what's the story you have about your life and your life experiences? What meaning are you giving to those experiences? What meaning are you giving to your life? And what perspective do you have about it all? And finally, what's something that you've been wanting to change about your life or a goal that you've been wanting to achieve? And what's the story that you have about that part of your life? Take a moment now to write it all down. Pause. Unpause. Okay, we're back. So that's the first piece, is you need a good story. And the story is really important because it's what's going to sustain you for the long haul. If you have a strong enough reason for why you want to do something that's meaningful enough to you, you're going to stick with something. If you don't have a good enough story, or if you have a story that negatively impacts you and stops you and fills you with doubt, you're not going to pursue something for the long term. So that's why, to me, story is very, very important. The next thing, though, is state. And that is also really important because you need it every moment. So state is really mostly about our physicality. There is a certain set of emotions that we experience regularly throughout our lives. And it's different for everybody. So right now, I want you to take another moment just to write a list of what are the top emotions that you find yourself feeling and experiencing in your life. How do you feel most often? What are the emotions you feel most of the time? You're like, on a daily basis, I usually feel these things. Write them down now. Pause. Unpause. We're back. Okay, so now that you look at your list of emotions, I want you to look at each emotion and think about what your body is usually doing when you're feeling each emotion. So let's say that you feel like really sad and depressed all the time, which I do, okay? I do. I'm very familiar with these feelings. My body, when I feel sad, depressed, defeated, really overwhelmed, I'm hunched. I know I am. I'm hunched. I kind of like this. I sigh a lot. I make this face. I think I would look up and just think, why? Why? It's terrible. That's my physicality, and it's a practice. Everything we do is a practice and a habit. So we practice feeling this way. We practice feeling it in our bodies, and it's like easier and easier to go back to once we've created these patterns within ourselves and within our minds and our bodies. So we practice these emotions, we really do. So let's say you're angry all the time. How do you feel it in your body? You feel like rage, you feel tense, you know? What do you do? What do you do with your body when you're angry? You know, think about it. Think about all these things that you experience and, you know, take some time to evaluate what you do with your body for each one. Now, how are we going to change it? Well, you gotta break your state and create a new, better state that you can use in order to change your life, in order to change yourself, and in order to achieve your goals. So think of a state or a set of states or a set of emotions that you want to feel. So take some time now to think of the set of emotions that you want to experience, that you think would help you achieve your goals, and that you will use to actively replace the states you usually feel. So take some time now, write a list of emotions and states of being that you want to feel on a regular basis. Go. Pause. Unpause. Okay, so now that you have that list, now think about what your body would be doing in that state. So for me, instead of feeling defeated and tired and depressed and hopeless, which I still feel way too often, and insecure, and when I feel insecure I just want to hide. I don't want anyone to look at me. I want to get really small and just like nobody look at me. So what's opposite? For me, I want to experience more confidence. And when I think of confidence, and even when automatically I just sit up straighter, I put my chest out, put my ass out too. I just feel, hey, I'm here, this is me, I'm taking up space. Like, I don't need to apologize for myself. I don't need to shrink myself. I just am. I'm here, you know? And to me, that's what embodying confidence is, just being straight and up. And I know that sounds, oh, well, that's just a stereotypical answer. But when I think about how I'd experience it in my body, that's really what it is. You know, confidence is not this at all. I don't feel very confident in this, you know? So here it is, confidence, okay, for me. Now think about what you want to experience and what the physicality would be for you. I want to feel energized, you know, I want to feel like I want to have energy to do something. Then I have to think of a state to get into when I want to, okay, I just have to go for it. Just start, go. And maybe that's just like, do a jump up in the air, you know, it can be anything. If I want to do something, throw my hands up and just go. Count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and just do it, you know. So think about the things, the states you want to be in and what you can do with your body to break you into those states. Now, there is one more step to this, and that is when you're in your previous state, you can think yourself into your new state and break into it just by, you know, jumping in the air and like screaming or something. But if it's really intense, especially if it's like depression, you might need something to break your state. Like, think of something really funny that can make you laugh. You know, think of something that makes you angry, because even though anger isn't necessarily like an ideal state, it's way better than being depressed. It really is. So think of a way that you can break yourself out of whatever state you want to stop experiencing, so that you can create that break and then shift into the new state you want to experience. So that's state, and a short exercise you could do on that. Now the last thing you're going to need is a good strategy. So you can have a goal, you can know how you want to change in your life, and you can have the right story. You can have a great story about why that inspires you and, makes you take action every single day. You can have a great state. You can show up ready to make the change, ready to do the work, but you have a bad strategy. So no matter what you show up every day, you wake up every day, but you actually have a bad plan, that's still going to affect you, right? So for strategy, strategy is really, really, really important, but as long as you have a good story and a good state, strategy will come. The only thing you have to keep in mind with strategy is if what you've been doing hasn't been working, you have to do something else. You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again and wonder why it's not working. What's something you haven't tried yet? And how are you going to try it? Also for strategy, I'll say whatever your goal is or whatever way you're trying to change, look at people who have achieved what you're trying to achieve and learn from them. What are the strategies that they've used? What are the things that they've done to achieve their goal? And that's where you can find the best strategies, is by looking at people who have accomplished it already. So the exercise for strategy, I just want you to think of what is the change you've been wanting to make, or what is that goal that you've been wanting to achieve, that you've already been analyzing, and think, what has been your strategy? Have you had a strategy? Has it been working for you? If it hasn't been working, what is a new strategy you want to try out? Or what are you going to do to find a strategy that works? Take some time to write that out. Pause. Unpause. Okay, so to me, the story, state, and strategy is really what this whole book is about, but it really breaks it down into smaller, more manageable segments that we can practice. But I do hope that these exercises have helped you think critically about what you want to change in your life, the goals that you want to pursue, and if you haven't been able to make progress, maybe you've been able to identify why. I know I'm certainly going to take these 3 things into consideration to reevaluate my goals and to think about how I can make more and better progress. So if this video has given you any insight, please give it a like, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if that's your jam, and let me know in the comments section what is something that you've been wanting to change or work on, and what area do you think you've been stuck in, or do you think you've been stuck in all of them, and how do you want to change, and how are you going to approach each of these things for the goal that you want to achieve or the thing that you want to change. So much love to you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this journey and letting me be a part of yours. Until next time, so much love to you.